Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm getting ready to read a chapter out of my pamphlet, well, book that I'm going to publish because it keeps saying pamphlet. So enjoy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I'm getting ready to read a chapter out of this pamphlet, so they say, but I want to turn it into a book, which I'm going to do that, and I'm working on that to get it published because I have everything written here. So let's begin. Real life never felt so real. True story. Written by Shanika Grant. This is me when I was a little girl. This book is based on a true story. Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Shanika Grant. I was born October 15, 1984 in a small city called Summit, South Carolina, raised by my grandmother because my mama abandoned three of us and didn't want it to take full responsibility for us since she was going through so much in life at the time. We were born, she had some dark secrets in her life that she was going to reveal to us. When she came out about how she really felt, that made my heart drop. So let's begin. Just a child at this point, I didn't fully understand what she was saying or what was happening at the time. I used to cry a lot out of anger because I loved my mom, and all I wanted was her attention and never get it. She treated me like an outsider and a stranger, not like her own child. And now I'm grown. Here is my story. Here's me. This is based on a true story, you guys. So I started off by talking about the guy that I dated, which is Hayward. I dated a man named Hayward Yarborough back in 2009. I met him at Popeyes, a fast food restaurant in Columbia, South Carolina. We just worked part-time together. I had two jobs while trying to take care of my two kids, which was Naya and Papa at the time. Their ages were 3 and 2. When Hayward came up to me, I wasn't interested because I had a lot going on with myself and dating was not my thing at the time. I had been through a lot in the past relationships, so I decided to give him a chance. So we went to church for the first time of our life. One Sunday we decided to move in together. I let him know I was not ready, but he pushed himself on me. And then we were in it for the long run, never knowing one day we will have a child. I got pregnant with his first child, Samaria Leah Yarborough, born June 13, 2010, the day I found out I was pregnant. We both were excited. This is his first child, and now I will have 3 children. It has been a long time since I had a baby, so he was there for the birth, but the birth was special. One night he was out in the world doing what niggers do, and we just talked on the phone, and he said, "Call me when your water break." So here I am eating hot wings with hot sauce, and then I went to bed. Here we go. My water bust. I called him back and I said it was time for our baby to be born. So here we are in the delivery room. He recorded me having Samaria, and as soon as she came out, she was crying. He said, "It's okay, don't cry." She got quiet. The best moment in the world to know how much he loved her and hold her for the first time. From the point things started to change for the both of us. He was running into the streets, back and forth to Columbia, cheating and lying about everything he was doing. So one day I got tired of all the bullshit and packed up and moved to Columbia, South Carolina, to make it better for him to start over for a better life. It went well for a little while, then things turned around for us. One day, walking Naya to school, I got some strange news from some woman named such and such, asked for a friend request. I didn't accept it, then asked him about her, and it went on. One day she called my phone and said she was pregnant from him. She said she had the baby, and we cried and we tried to make it work, but hey, we fall out because people was talking about everything. Me living on house and he living with me was a bit much because he was selling drugs out of the house, and somebody got mad and called the police and they kicked my door in. Here I am with the kids in the house. My kids and his sisters were both in handcuffs. We both was in handcuffs, and DSS coming in to talk to the kids. Everything was happening so fast, but Tara got my kids, and Boo and Deanna, his sister, came and got the others. I'm fighting the police, and I went to jail. Me and him in the back of the police van, and his cousin was there at the time in my house with drugs on him. We all went to jail and everything hit me in the face on how I lost everything for him. At the time, I had my truck, and I used that to get him out of jail. Total of $12,000 in cash for loans. Got him out, and here we were struggling, trying to find a place to stay for us, and it was hard. I mean, real hard to find a place. And then I finally did on Waverly Street, 2 bedrooms apartment. At the time, I had already had 5 kids with me at the time, trying to get our place not the best, but we managed to stay there for 2 years. And Hayward kids not having the money to pay bills, so we didn't have money for a job. We didn't have we did not stay there for 2 years. Me and Hayward kids not having the money to pay bills. So I got a job at Ryan's. I was a waitress making $2.65 an hour in tips. So it was it wasn't much money to pay rent. So one day at work, the loan company came to pick up my truck. Now I didn't have nothing to drive without my car. I was fucked up. Then come to find out I was pregnant again with my 6th child, which was Elijah. Working hard, trying to pay bills. Then one day Hayward got a job at the farm, Columbia Farms, making $9 an hour, more support for the kids and bills. One day I got fired from my job, so it was all on him to make sure the bills were paid, and he did just that, making sure we had lights, food, and a roof over our head. Everything was still going downhill because he chose to keep cheating and lying to me about what he was doing and who he been staying with when he is not home with me and the kids. But make a long story short, me and Hayward were together for almost 10 years, and it has been a long journey with him, loving him, trying to understand him and what he really wanted out of life. Because listening to his stories about his mother dying while he was young at the age 13 was a bad loss for him, and he really don't know how to love because he have been hurt so many times in his life. And I can understand that when you lose someone that birthed you in the world, leaves you hurt is deeply. When someone that birthed you in the world leaves you, it hurts deeply, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But sometimes in life you have to go and move forward. But for him, it was hard because his life was going downhill. He was selling drugs, panhandling, and his life was turning into the worst nightmare, not knowing who to talk to or who to turn to, because he had nobody to talk to about his life but his father. And his father was not around for him at the time. Hayward was the kind of man who would not listen to what nobody had to say. He was very stubborn, impatient, antisocial, and unappreciated. Hayward seems to forget who really loves him more than he thinks. He has so many people's hearts in his hands. And the sad part of it, that he knows ideals, how much people hearts sink deeply within him, knowing he can hurt people's hearts so badly. He doesn't even think about what he has done to the person he hurts. Loving someone who has hurt you is hard to love them again. Trust plays a big role with me and him, because one day he gave up on me and the kids, and he walked out and changed his life forever. He decided on June 1st he wanted out of the relationship. He did the unthinkable and married the woman who he cheated on me with, who he had a baby with. He caused so much drama in our relationship, and to be honest, I wanted to kill him because he messed up my life and the kids. Left me with all the bills, and I left the apartment in Waverly with no help. Here I go struggling, trying to find a place to live, find money for bills, and I couldn't because he left me. So he left me with all the bills. I left the apartment. Here I am trying to find money to move again to help. Here I am trying to find money again. Here I am riding the bus to get to and from, because being pregnant again with a 6th child, in the streets walking, trying to make a way for me and my children. I started to pray to ask God to guide me and show me the way. So one day I prayed, and then God started to open doors for me and my kids. Here we are walking to the Betha, and the lady had a 4-bedroom here in Columbia, South Carolina, based on income. I got approved. All I had to do was pay my light bill, and I was thinking, God saying, I did it. I got some way for me and my kids to go. Myself set up to move here was hell because nobody helped me move here. I had to ask different people. Everyone turned me down. By the grace of God, I was working at the DSS place for a check for the kids. I started meeting people. Mercedes was a girl who was in the class with me, and I asked her to help me move, and she did. Okay, then we went from there, moving everything in. Here, everything went set up for me and everything. So that's the first chapter in the book. The first chapter in the book basically talked about me and Harold's relationship and how we met and how, I gave life to his first child and how he treated me and cheated and done everything wrong. And I felt like in my life, I've been through so much stuff in my life with my mother, my grandmother, and situations with my brother being raped and dealing with a man. It was a lot more stress on my body. But I wound up staying in the relationship for the long run because, I had been pregnant with Eli. So basically, I just started this chapter here talking about him and how we became close to friends and how we got a bond to this day, because people put you through things in life and then you regret a lot of things that have happened. But sometimes in life you have to put the past behind you and move forward, because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes and we all do things wrong, and men gonna lie, men gonna cheat, men gonna do things, and they're gonna blame you for it. But I don't hold him full responsible for certain things that he have done, because me as being his woman for 10 years, it was hard on me because every time you turn around, we get in an argument, I'm getting pregnant. And ladies, you know what that means. So that's the first chapter in my book. The chapter, in my pamphlet, since they say it's a pamphlet, but I'm about to make it out of a book once I get it published. The chapter basically just talked about Hayward on the first chapter, because I basically started writing about him first. When I first broke up with him, I started writing then because I was very hurt and torn at the time. But again, don't forget to like and comment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And love hurts, love dies, but at the end of the day, we still co-parenting for the sake of our children. Because to this day, nobody can love our children the way we love them. You know what I'm saying? Giving them the protection and the love and affection that they need. So again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the video, and see you guys later.